Hello everybody and welcome back to the RORSRPS Season 2 Qualifier. My name is Preston Vieira and tonight is our final event of the week, which means tomorrow is our tour placement votes. Remember, you can join in the tour placement voting process for all of this week's qualifiers by heading over to the RORSRPS Instagram tomorrow, Saturday, February 17th. That's at RORSRPS. Drop a follow and keep an eye on my Instagram story because every vote counts. As usual, please consider subscribing if you enjoyed tonight's event and want to keep up with qualifiers or catch the soon-to-come Season 2 featuring 3 Tours of Chaos and a new larger total of 48 main field trucks. But here on YouTube, you're only getting half the RORSRPS experience. So don't forget to head over to Instagram this weekend so you can be a decision maker and be a tiebreaker potentially. We already filled up our Indy Madness Tour and soon we'll only have 2 or 3 spots left overall. So get your opinions heard now. Follow that RORSRPS Instagram. Also, don't forget to go over to Dubby.gg and check them out. Dubby has a lot of flavors for energy and hydration powders. Everything from mango orange cream in the Calio cream flavor to watermelon lemonade in their watermelonada hydration blend and more. They have some awesome stickers and merch on Dubby.gg as well. So join the Dubby movement, get hydrated, get energized, and support the RORSRPS channel by taking 10% off Dubby's wide range of flavors using code RORSRPS at checkout. Now let's finish finding our picks here for tonight. We've had a lot already go by that I have missed with my little opening spiel here. Invader is coming back. We've seen Invader before on this track in this sponsor showdown, excuse me, in this qualifying window, but he's on the full selection wheel. Man, I am having trouble talking today. It's Friday, so my brain is kind of turned off already. But let's take a look at our full lineup here. We got some requests, some re-attempting trucks, and some new ones all mixed in together. Here's our official lineup, which leads to our seeds for round 1. The Biolizard is going to be taking on 31 flavors to get us started. Pouncer will face off against Sonic the Hedgehog. Nitro Menace is going to take on Rockwell Red. Toxic will face off against Working Class 6. Just Get Her Done is going to take on King Crunch. Infinite will face off against Killswitch, back once again. We haven't seen him in a long time. Invader is going to take on Draco, the sister truck to Skeledragon. And Megalodon will close out round 1, taking on Sonic the Werehog. 2 Sonic trucks, but 2 very different trucks at that. The Biolizard coming out first, taking on 31 flavors, though. Both trucks staged and ready to go here for our first race of round 1. Going green and heading up and over the step up already. Big leap from 31 flavors. Now this is a different version of 31 flavors than we've seen on this track at all during this qualifying window. We've only seen the Escalade body, but we also have a Silverado body, and it is being not really debuted, but you know, we're seeing it for the first time on this channel here tonight. Heading into the slalom, 31 flavors is looking good. Keeping up with the Biolizard. I would even say that 31 flavors has a lead on him. We'll see if he can hold that as we head into the double roller section. He does. Getting it done. Solid landings from both trucks, though. Of course, the Biolizard is using that, what is it? Exterminator. That's what I'm thinking of. Exterminator body that we've seen on this track a couple times early on in this qualifying window. He hasn't been chosen to come back in a long time, but the Biolizard is here to take his place and throw down a solid run. Hopefully, at least for him, he could get into Season 2. Solid landings from both trucks. Neither one of them really getting too bent out of shape, but both of them having their own struggles heading into the tunnel there. Looking for the gap for the first time on the bottom floor tonight. Big leap from 31 flavors. Getting in trouble, but sets it down. Exterminator, big wheelie. 31 flavors goes for a spin in that elevated turn. The Biolizard grabs the lead, and he is all by himself for a moment. It may not hold, though. Heading into this final turn. Is 31 flavors going to come back? He's putting in the effort. It is relatively close, but I don't think it's going to happen. The Biolizard heading over the finish line. A close first race, but it is the Biolizard moving on to round 2, knocking out 31 flavors here in our first race of the night. Solid pass from the Biolizard. Both of them, as I mentioned, had their own mistakes there as we went into the tunnel, but that's where we started to see things separate, and then it only happened worse as we got through the gap on the bottom floor. But Pouncer is back. We haven't seen Pouncer in a long time. He'll be taking on Sonic the Hedgehog there on your left. We'll see who can come out on top here in round 1. Pouncer stage, Sonic stage, and we're going green. Launching off of that step up. Who is going to hit the ground first? It's close. It is nearly a dead tie here. Heading up and over the Jackrabbit. Those cat trucks like to use sort of a rollover approach there. We just saw it from Pouncer. But we've seen Prowler, the sister truck to Pouncer, of course, get into the final round before. So we're looking to see Pouncer put down a solid performance tonight. He could potentially do the same thing and end up in Season 2. I would not be mad. Predator would have a sister truck in the second season. Heading into the double rollers here, Sonic the Hedgehog getting a nice clean downside, holding the lead right now on Pouncer. But it is Pouncer, I would say, with a cleaner landing up onto starting elevation. And a lead heading down the ski hill and onto the bridge. Nicely done. Both of them getting through the bridge clean. It's nearly a tie here. Sonic the Hedgehog may have a very slight lead. I'm talking inches here, so it is neck and neck. A close race here as we head into the tunnel. Pouncer coming out cleaner and coming out first onto that bottom floor. Can he hold this lead for the rest of the race, or will Sonic be able to come back? This is the first time we're seeing Sonic on this track, so I don't really know what to expect as far as racing goes. Pouncer, though, has been here before and made it up into the second round, and looks like he's going to be able to do it again. Can he hold it through that final turn? Sonic just too far behind Pouncer with a solid final turn. Not perfect, but getting it done relatively clean over the triple and to the finish line. Pouncer is on to round 2 tonight. Sonic the Hedgehog not getting it done here in the first round. Maybe he can come back. After tonight, we only got 2 more shows left, 2 episodes. And then we are going to take a very short break just to finalize some stuff for Season 2. But then we'll be right back and getting into the official ROR SRPS season with all of our main field qualifiers that have come through this Spin Master Showdown qualifying event. Nitro Menace coming out next on your right, taking on Rockwell Red, who's going to come out on top. Both of these trucks have been in the semifinals in the past. Can they do it again tonight? Nitro Menace using that Sonic Heroes approach to the step up. He is behind, though, with a squirrely landing on hitting the ground here for the first time tonight. Coming into this first turn, though, Rockwell Red not really holding the lead too well. Letting Nitro Menace catch up here as we head into the slalom. Rockwell Red, typically pretty fearsome competitor. As I mentioned, he has been in the semifinals. I think we've seen him once before, and he did well. I mean, you just got to do it again. You know what I mean? You got to prove yourself. Prove it wasn't a fluke. And same for Nitro Menace, though. I mean, we could say the exact same thing for Nitro Menace. He's doing good here as we head onto the bridge as Rockwell Red falls behind. Man, that is a tongue twister when you're trying to call out everything that's going on. Rockwell grabs the lead heading into the tunnel, looking for a nice clean transfer. Gets it done relatively well. Nitro Menace going into the wall. Gonna have to back that truck up, and that hurts his pass big time. Rockwell Red heading into this gap on the bottom floor. He's gonna get a nice clean landing. Comes up just shy, gets a little bit of a butt kicker there, but gets it back down. Nitro Menace is going to have to go long to low in the gap on the bottom floor, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen for Nitro Menace. That long to low really solidified his fate, but the tunnel is where he lost it all. Rockwell around that final turn and heading over the triple. Rockwell Red is on to round 2 tonight, one step closer to the semifinals once again. Can he do it again? And will he be able to excel past where he was in our last time that we saw him? Nitro Menace done. Potentially will be able to come back if the wheel will land on him. We'll see if it comes around to it. But let's head back up to starting elevation for Working Class 6, who just was here not too long ago. Not last episode, but the episode before. And threw down some incredible runs. This truck is lightning fast. Made it up into the final round in his first appearance here on this track. Toxic, another one who could do well. I'm not going to count him out, but he didn't do too hot last time we saw him. I believe he got up into the second round, but that's about it. Heading down onto the first floor. Working Class going over. Uh-oh. Oh, saves it from the pit of disqualification. That truck is still running. Working Class. I thought he was out. He has a shot to come back. He's just going to have to work for it big time. The race has only begun. Here on the first floor, we got over 3/4 of the race to go. And Toxic in the lead right now, but making quick work of that slalom will help Working Class 6 get up and near Toxic once again. We'll see if Toxic makes any mistakes. A big sky wheelie up onto starting elevation. Might be wasting a little bit of time that he doesn't necessarily have. I mean, you could waste a little bit of time, but Working Class 6 is a fast truck. He got extremely lucky that Working Class 6 ended up going over in that landing off of the step up. But, I mean, if Working Class can get back up there, he's in trouble. And Toxic is in trouble in the tunnel anyways. Cab hits the wall. I don't know. That wasn't necessarily the hardest hit. They do let him refire. But typically they shut him off when the cab hits the wall in the tunnel. Now they let him refire. Toxic is behind right now, but he could make up some ground. Working Class 6 going long to low there in the gap. Toxic getting tripped up a little bit. I mean, no. Toxic, I don't think is going to do it. This final turn is going to be a breeze for Working Class 6, especially after the hardship that he faced early on and was able to recover from in this race. Over the triple he goes, and he's headed to the finish line. Working Class 6, one step closer to the finals once again. And we'll see if he can do it tonight. We saw Rockwell Red just a second ago, who's going to try to potentially give him a run for his money next round, I believe. So we'll see how that goes here as we head into our next race of the night. King Crunch is going to be taking on Just Get Her Done. Now this is a late 2000s Just Get Her Done, a werewolf truck. We'll see if he can keep that thing in one piece as we get up near the finish line here in our first round tonight. Launching off of that starting line though, it is King Crunch with a very slight lead. Over the Jackrabbit, beautifully done from Just Get Her Done. He is neck and neck with King Crunch right now. A dead tie as we head into this first turn, but King Crunch may be able to hold it together a little bit better. No, Just Get Her Done using that werewolf turning ability, that grip, to hold a lead on King Crunch. And here in the slalom, it could only get better for him. King Crunch, big slides through that slalom, able to tame it and keep that truck on all fours and pointed in the right direction generally. But you don't want to be slipping and sliding when your opponent is a werewolf truck in the slalom, catching all the grip on this floor. Heading up onto the bridge, though, it is King Crunch with a slight lead, getting close to the edge for both of these trucks. Neither one of them falling off, but that could have been bad. We've seen a lot of trucks fall off the edge. Well, not a lot. We've seen a good handful of trucks fall off of the bridge. And you don't want to be one of those. You are not only out for the race, but, it just hurts straight up. And especially if you're a werewolf truck, you got a lot of work to do to get that truck back up into tip-top shape. King Crunch with a big leap across the across the gap and into the elevated turn. Just Get Her Done, trying to get her done, but it's not going to happen. King Crunch all by himself heading into this final turn. Can he hold it together and get across that finish line in first? A beautiful final turn from King Crunch. Just Get Her Done, not too bad, but too slow. And it's not going to happen for Just Get Her Done. King Crunch is on to round 2 tonight. Looking to get into the finals once again. We saw him in the finals last time we saw him. And put in a solid effort. It just wasn't able to happen for him that time. Maybe tonight, King Crunch could end up in Season 2, and that would be awesome. Infinite coming out next on your right, taking on Killswitch. Now, we saw Killswitch before. Last time we saw him, unfortunately, he went down in the first turn. Definitely not the way you want to go out on this track. Just caught too much grip, got hiked up on one side, and down he went. We'll see if he can control that here tonight. But Infinite, this is the first time we're seeing him. Can he hold it together on this insane track? Looking good over the Jackrabbit for both trucks. It's a dead tie over the gap. Killswitch, a very slight lead, just with more momentum in the air there. Infinite out super wide in that first turn. It's all Killswitch right now, but it is a close race. Big slide from both trucks there, heading into that final turn of the slalom. Killswitch still holding that lead on Infinite. It's Infinite with a better downside. Killswitch in trouble, bouncing off the dumpster. Able to keep it on all four BKTs, luckily. But that slowed him down. Infinite grabs the lead here as we head down onto the bridge. And it's looking good for Infinite, but he clips the cars hard. And it is Killswitch who's coming back. Still Infinite with the lead, but Killswitch is right in that sweet spot right now. If there's trouble in the tunnel, Infinite could be done. And there is a little bit of trouble in the tunnel. Killswitch with more speed coming out of the tunnel and grabs a lead heading into the gap. Nice leap across. Bit of a big hit for Killswitch. Infinite goes long to low there. Struggle turn for Killswitch. Infinite nice and clean, but he does not have the speed coming out of that turn and clips that launch ramp as well in the chicane. So it is all Killswitch around that final turn tonight. Killswitch is on to round 2, knocking out Infinite here in the first round. Man, Infinite unable to get past round 1 on his first attempt on this track. Maybe he can come back at some point and hopefully do better. But for now, Infinite is done. Killswitch, we'll see him again in just a little bit. Next up on this track, looking for some solid passes here. Invader on your right, taking on Draco, as I mentioned, the sister truck to Skeleton Dragon. And we'll see if Draco can get into Season 2 and potentially, you know, have 2 dragons in a row. I mean, we would have 2 dragons in the main field as well. Up and over that step up, it's Draco taking a little bit of a, guided approach down the downside of that step up. Invader overshooting that Jackrabbit, which hurts him. Heading into the gap, he's going to have to go long to low here. Awkward landing, big hit on the nose, and that hurt. This is doing nothing but hurting his pass, and no save from Invader. He's going for it still, but out he goes into the concourse. Invader down Draco all by himself on this track. He's going to get a free ride into the next round if he can get across that finish line. A big leap overshooting that double roller section. Definitely needed a practice lap, I'll tell you that much. Draco, first time on this track, first time we're seeing him on this track, so he's getting to know it, getting a little close to that ledge. That's another one getting close to the ledge tonight. You don't want to see anybody falling off that bridge. That is going to hurt. We're going to have to get, medics and crew out there, make sure everybody's good, but you don't want to fall off the bridge. Draco managing to keep it on all fours, managing to get through this lap, and we'll see how he does here in the gap here on the bottom floor. He's going to go long to low, keep that truck in one piece, keep it conservative here in the first pass. Maybe next round he might have to actually air that thing out if he wants to compete with somebody. But slipping and sliding through that chicane, Draco heading into the final turn, and he is going to be moving on to round 2 tonight. A little bit of a rough final turn there, having to adjust his angle about halfway through. That could get him into trouble if there's an opponent next to him next round. We'll see what goes on later on, but for now, he's on to round 2. We'll see him again in a little while. He's going to head back up to the pits, double check that truck, maybe mess with some settings, and get dialed in for the next round. Megalodon coming out next on your right, taking on Sonic Unleashed for that 15th anniversary. I don't know when this truck was created, but whenever it was created, it was the 15th anniversary. This is the Sonic the Werehog, excuse me, not just Sonic Unleashed, Sonic the Werehog, I believe. Heading down onto the floor here. Megalodon and Sonic both get great landings on the Jackrabbit. Neck and neck heading into the first turn. Megalodon a little sloppy, coming, turning out to go in first, and it slows him down a little bit, makes him fall behind. Sonic the Werehog right now killing it in the lead, holding that lead that he's had since essentially the beginning of the race. Heading into this double roller section, still Sonic the Werehog right now. Megalodon getting a beautiful downside. Sonic getting in trouble. Almost had a repeat of identity theft with that Beyblade action, but manages to get a survivable landing this time. Megalodon heading down into the bridge. Is he going to get a nice clean transfer? We'll find out here. No, he's going to come up short, but gets a solid rebound that sets him up pretty nice. Sonic the Werehog too far behind right now. I don't think it's going to happen unless there is a big mistake from Megalodon. We'll just have to watch and see. Sonic the Werehog with a solid transfer into the tunnel. Nicely done. Coming through the chicane. It is all Megalodon right now. Can we get a Megalodon in Season 2? I ask the question every time we see it because we already have a Megalodon Fire in Season 2, but I would be allowing Megalodon Neon or just a regular Megalodon as well. And tonight is another opportunity, especially moving on to round 2, for that to happen. Megalodon on to the next one. Sonic the Werehog down. And he is just now heading to that finish line. But that is going to do it here for our first round in our first bracket of the night. Let's take a look at round 2 and see where we're at. The Biolizard is going to be taking on Pouncer to get us started. Rockwell Red is going to take on Working Class 6. King Crunch will face off against Killswitch. And to close out round 2, we got Draco taking on Megalodon. Very interesting race at the bottom of the bracket. I feel like from what we've seen from both of these trucks tonight specifically, that's just pretty fair matchup, pretty solid. I don't know who I would call in that one if we're being honest here. And but moving on to our first race of round 2, the Biolizard is going to be taking on Pouncer to get us started. We're going green and heading to the step up. Over we go. Both of them taking a rollover approach to that step up jump. Pouncer getting a beautiful downside. I don't know if I would call that beautiful, to be honest. He kind of overshot it a little bit. Looked like it was going to be nice, so I tried to get ahead of myself there, but shouldn't. Biolizard actually comes off cleaner, manages to make up the ground. They are neck and neck coming through the slalom. Who's going to hold this lead over the double roller section? It is Biolizard. Getting a nice clean landing as well. Same for Pouncer, though. Gets it done here in the double roller section. And as we head up through the starting elevation section, Pouncer getting it done. Managing to get right back up neck and neck with Biolizard. And this is quite a race. They are trading that lead back and forth. And Pouncer is making a solid effort to get back up in the lead. And as we head into the tunnel, I believe he has a very slight one. But an awkward bounce from Biolizard solidifies that. Pouncer, first one to that final roller on the bottom floor, looking for the gap. Now we know those big cat trucks, yes, can get a perfect landing on that elevated turn. And with Biolizard's mistake, I believe that just put that final nail in the coffin. Pouncer heading into the final turn. Can he get a solid one and advance on to the semifinals tonight? Absolutely he can. The big cats may be taking another win tonight. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Pouncer on to the semifinals. The Biolizard is done. Knocked out here in round 2. Maybe he'll come back soon and get another shot. I wouldn't be opposed to it. We'll see what happens. But for now, Biolizard is out. On to the next one for tonight, though. Working Class 6. Coming out next on your left. Taking on Rockwell Red. And this is going to be an interesting one for sure. Very curious to see how this is going to go. Both of these trucks can be absolutely lightning fast racers on this track. But we just saw Working Class make a big mistake last round. We'll see if he tightens it up here. Looks like he does. Rockwell Red, a little bit of a slap wheelie, which slows him down in our first straight. It is Working Class 6 with a nice clean landing on that Jackrabbit. Not so much for Rockwell Red. Working Class 6 holding that lead as we head into the slalom. Not really the most distant race, though. I mean, these two are pretty neck and neck. There is a gap between them, but Rockwell Red getting it done. Getting right there with Working Class as we come out of the double roller, or out of the slalom and into the double rollers. Working Class nicely done. The first one up onto starting elevation. Rockwell Red trying to fight to get up into and pass that sweet spot. I would say that he's in there right now, but he is struggling here on this track to grab a lead tonight. Heading into the tunnel, might be a nice perfect landing. Kind of awkward though. Could have been a really great landing, but he handled it kind of awkward, which slows him down even more. Working Class 6 just expanding that lead on Rockwell Red tonight, heading into the gap. Big hit on the front end. We know Working Class 6 takes big hits on that front end when he goes for the gap on the bottom floor, but he does survive every time. So we'll see if that comes into play again later tonight. That's what put him out last time we saw him in the final round specifically. So we'll see if he can tighten that up, or if that's going to be his downfall once again. Not here against Rockwell Red, though. Working Class 6 is on to round 3, our semifinals. And Rockwell Red is done here in round 2. Just not happening for Rockwell Red for Season 2, unfortunately. Maybe. I mean, we got 2 more shows left of this qualifying series. Maybe Rockwell can come out at some point and get it done, but not yet. King Crunch coming out next on your right. He'll be taking on Killswitch here in the second round. Very, very interesting race. Another one that is going to be kind of tough to call here, at least for now. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes here. Launching off the starting line and headed to the first floor, Killswitch and King Crunch. Killswitch getting in trouble early. King Crunch absolutely launching over that step up, and it seems to have paid off here. With a solid landing on the downside of that Jackrabbit, it is all King Crunch right now in this first turn. Killswitch managing to keep control in that first turn on the first floor, which is what got him out last time he made an attempt on this track. He's doing well. He's just a little behind right now, struggling compared to King Crunch at least. And a big slide on the way out of the slalom. Killswitch just falling further and further behind. King Crunch really looking for another final round placement, but a bad turn on starting elevation lets Killswitch reclaim the lead just slightly. King Crunch trying to work his way back up into first place, but he is falling farther and farther behind. Killswitch going for the transfer, same for King Crunch. King Crunch getting into more trouble in the tunnel. Killswitch all by himself coming through that final roller section. Looking for the gap. Killswitch going for it. King Crunch as well. Both trucks taking big hits on the front end, but it's King Crunch who spins out. Killswitch heading around that elevated turn and looking for that final turn. I don't think King Crunch is going to be able to come back from that one. Just a little too sloppy from King Crunch this time around. A beautiful turn from Killswitch to close out this race. Over the finish line we go for Killswitch, on to the semifinals. Both trucks had their problems on this track here in round 2. In the semifinals, you're really going to have to tighten that up if you want to see the final round. We'll see what happens as Killswitch is on to the next one. Draco coming out next on your right, and he's taking on Megalodon to close out our second round. This is the one that I pointed out specifically when we were looking at the bracket, and I'm excited to see what happens as we go green, launching off the starting line and heading over the step up. Neck and neck over the Jackrabbit. It is Megalodon with a slight lead, but it's Draco with a smoother landing. And these two are, I mean, tire for tire. They are right there with each other right now. Draco a little bit more of a slide in that first turn though. Megalodon managing to grab a slight lead heading into the slalom. Will Draco be able to make up some ground here in the slalom? Big slide from Draco on the way out as well. It's Megalodon holding that lead on Draco. Both trucks getting beautiful downsides on the double roller section. Heading onto the bridge. Who is going to take this race? It has been close right now. Draco still in that sweet spot, but Megalodon just holding that lead. Megalodon doing all the right things to stay in the lead right now. Looking for a transfer into the tunnel though. Megalodon going to come up short. Draco trying to get a perfect landing. He does get a better one than Megalodon at least. Heading onto the bottom floor. Draco in the lead. Looking for the gap. Big hit for Draco on the front end. Megalodon getting nearly a perfect landing. Who is going to take it into the semifinals tonight? Coming out of the chicane, it is nearly neck and neck. Megalodon just slightly behind Draco right now. This final turn could be a decision maker. Megalodon nice and tight. Draco not too bad, but out wider. It is so close. Coming down this final straightaway and to the final jump, it is Megalodon. Megalodon by a tire tread comes back at the last second and grabs a win. And on to the semifinals he goes. Wow, we might be getting Megalodon in Season 2, but this round will determine that for a fact. Pouncer taking on Working Class. Killswitch is going to face off against Megalodon. And from what we've seen from the trucks that are on this list tonight, I don't know if Killswitch has what it takes to knock out this Megalodon. Pouncer versus Working Class is going to be a race, though. I can tell you that much. As I mentioned, Prowler has been in the final round before. This is the exact same node. This is the sister truck to Prowler. Working Class has been in the final round before and not too long ago. So we just got to watch and see what happens as our semifinals go green, and we're going up and over that step up. Over the Jackrabbit we go. A big hit on the nose for Pouncer, excuse me. Pouncer already at a major disadvantage. Able to keep that truck going, but he is so far behind Working Class right now. With a racer like Working Class, it is almost a death sentence to have a major mistake like that. But we did see Working Class have a major mistake early on in this race, or in this bracket, excuse me. And Working Class gets hiked up onto two wheels, giving Prowler a chance to make up at least a little bit of ground. Both trucks solid over the double roller section. Pouncer getting kicked sideways a little bit. Working Class just too far in the lead for any differences to be made at this point. We got to see how they handle the transfer and this bottom floor, and most notably that bottom floor gap. That could knock out Working Class. What a transfer from Working Class. Absolutely huge air. Pouncer in trouble, and down goes Pouncer. They've been really lenient with refires. I don't know if they're going to let Pouncer refire. No, Pouncer is done for sure. Working Class all by himself, managing to get himself back into the final round once again. Coming around this final turn, can he get to that finish line? Easy. Light work for Working Class. Heading up and over the finish line, Working Class is on to the final round with a big slap wheelie to celebrate. Nicely done. What a race from Working Class. Once again, on to the finals, getting another shot at that Season 2 qualification. Will tonight be the night is now the question that is on everybody's mind. Heading back up to starting elevation, Killswitch is going to be taking on Megalodon to close out the semifinals. Now, I mentioned when we were looking at that racing bracket, Killswitch may not have what it takes here to knock out Megalodon, just based on what we've seen from him tonight specifically. But we'll have to watch and see what happens as we go green for our final race of the semifinals. Big leap from Megalodon. Killswitch uses a rollover approach there, and it is neck and neck over the Jackrabbit, but a better landing from Megalodon manages to grab him an early, very slight, but early lead. Killswitch out wide in the turn, big slide. Megalodon holding that lead as we enter into the slalom. Is it going to be Megalodon here in the final race of the semifinals? Big slide from Megalodon. Killswitch manages to make up some ground. It's Killswitch over the double rollers first. Both trucks getting solid landings on that downside of the double rollers and up onto starting elevation. This is a pretty close race so far. They're trading that lead back and forth, and it could go either way. Now Killswitch smoother over the cars. Megalodon getting kind of hung up a little bit, but Megalodon is managing to make up ground. He's right in that sweet spot if he wants to be able to come back. And both trucks getting great landings as we head into the tunnel and down onto the bottom floor. It is a close race heading into the gap. This could be a decision maker. We know Megalodon can get nice clean landings, and he does get another one. Killswitch a little sloppy, not the cleanest. Megalodon could have a very slight lead here. He does, and it's not so slight. It's about a truck length. Megalodon in the lead heading into the final turn. Can he hold it? Around it we go, and yes, he does over the triple. Megalodon is on to the final round. That means Working Class 6 is going to be taking on Megalodon to close out our first bracket. Who will come out on top? We are so close to getting that second Megalodon into Season 2. Will it happen, or will the custom come back here in the final round and succeed in what he failed at last time around? Both of these trucks making it out of some tough races on this track. Draco for Megalodon, and of course Pouncer for Working Class 6. So we'll see who will come out on top here as we enter into our final round. Working Class coming out on your right, taking on Megalodon on your left. And this could be another race. We just saw a really insane final race last episode, and this could end up the same way. The only problem on Working Class's end is that bottom floor gap. Can he get that under control? We'll find out as we launch off the starting line and over the step up. Your final round is now underway, and both of these trucks taking on the Jackrabbit with beautiful landings. It's Megalodon a little crooked down that straight, letting Working Class grab, neck and neck position there. Megalodon did have a very slight lead, but now these two are in a dead tie heading into the slalom. Who's going to get the big slide that is going to kick off this race's leader? Coming through. It's close, but it's Megalodon with a big slide, but in the lead heading into the double roller section. Neither truck getting great landings on that double roller. Around that starting elevation turn, a great turn from both trucks. Working Class in that sweet spot right now. Can Megalodon hold this lead the entire race, though? A big slip from Working Class with a sky wheelie off of the cars. Megalodon just furthering his lead, and he's looking for a transfer. Solid landing from both trucks. Working Class getting it done too, keeping it off the walls, but he is at a very big disadvantage right now, and Megalodon has those nice clean landings on the gap. Is he going to do it again? He's going for it. Beautifully done. Working Class taking a big hit on the nose. Megalodon may have this one in the bag. Coming out of that chicane, does clip that launch ramp coming out of it, but he is so far in the lead. Unless there's a big mistake, it's not going to happen for Working Class. Megalodon goes down. Working Class manages to stick it out, and over the triple we go. It is all Working Class heading to the finish line and on to Season 2. Working Class grabs a main field competitor spot in Season 2. If you want to vote for what tour Working Class gets placed on between the Biggest and Baddest Tour and the All-Star Challenge Tour featuring Team Thunder versus Team Mayhem all season long, head over to the head over to the RORSRPS Instagram and place your votes tomorrow on my story. I'll be posting them publicly for everyone to vote. And just be there. That's all you got to do. Be there, hit a couple buttons, and you could be a decision maker in the voting process, in the tour placement voting process. An awesome truck here, a great addition into Season 2. Another truck that really embodies the custom spirit of SimMonsters.com. Something we need to bring back desperately. We got to get some more awesome customs around. And here's another one to add to the pile in Season 2. Working Class. We'll see him again in a little while. And now let's take a look at our second bracket of the night. Let's find our competitors and our potential Season 2 qualifiers here. Sly Cooper is getting another shot. It's been a little while since we've seen Sly Cooper. Titan as well. A solid... I don't want to jinx him, so I'm not going to say too much, but Titan, a solid, typically at least a second round competitor, right? Solid truck to get another shot. Just Get Her Done is coming back once again. 106.7 the Fox, a record holder here on the ROR SRPS channel with 8 or 9 current attempts, and now that he has another one, we're up to 9 or 10. So he is, a record holder. Megalodon Neon coming back, and so is Disney XD. We've only seen Disney XD once before. Same for Rap Attack. We've only seen Rap Attack, I believe, twice. Jailbird, we already do have a Jailbird in Season 2, so we are going to skip that one. Aries. Of course, that is in the Aries and Corrupted Carnage pack, but we're going to go with Aries this time around. Another Sim Monsters custom. Sonic Heroes is coming back once again. We haven't seen Sonic Heroes in a while. Well, I think we saw him last episode, didn't we? But we didn't see him do very well. Barefoot. Debuting truck on this channel. We haven't seen Barefoot at all, especially not a Werewolf Node Beam truck. But here's our full lineup. We're going to shuffle this up 3 times and find our official seeds for our second bracket. There is a good look at your full lineup. Let's take a look at our round 1 bracket here. Sonic Hero is going to be taking on Mopar Magic to get us started. Just Get Her Done is going to face off against 106.7 the Fox. Rap Attack will take on Titan. Barefoot is going to take on Sly Cooper, while Tasmanian Devil faces off against 31 Flavors back again. Kraken will be taking on Megalodon, the battle of the depths there. Aries is going to take on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and closing out round 1, we got Wrenchhead taking on Disney XD. Some interesting competitors in this bracket, and I am curious. I'm curious to see how this is going to go. Definitely interested in this bracket. Sonic Heroes taking on Mopar Magic to get us started. We're staged and ready to go green in your first round. Launching off of that starting line and over the step up, it is neck and neck right now. Mopar Magic absolutely airing that truck out, and that upsets the truck already, getting them bounced all over the place. Squirrely in that first straight. Sonic Heroes off to an early lead, a nice lead as we head into this first turn. Sonic Heroes has been here quite a few times now, I believe 4 or 5, and he throws down. I mean, sometimes he can't get out of the first round, but when he can't, he goes down pretty spectacular. And then if he can get up the bracket, he gives a solid effort. I'll say that. I'm not sure the specifics on, you know, how many semifinal rounds and whatnot. But if he were to at some point make it into season 2, we would use of course, the updated version of this truck, the most updated. This is just an old version that we had. This was actually the debuting version that we saw on this channel. Mopar Magic, though, let's just say, for example, if Mopar Magic were to get qualified into season 2, we'd be using this exact version. But look at the transfer from Mopar Magic, who, by the way, is in the lead right now. Down onto the bottom floor, heading to the gap. It's neck and neck. Who is going to get a better landing is the question. Sonic Heroes, I would say, but Mopar Magic, no slouch. Either Sonic Heroes gets a spin in that elevated turn, and they are neck and neck coming into this final turn. Entering into it we go. Sonic Heroes nice and tight. Mopar Magic just a little too wide on the exit. Slows him down just enough for Sonic Heroes to grab a lead, and it is close, but it is Sonic Heroes moving on to round 2. Nicely done. Great pass, great comeback from Sonic Heroes, managing to get into our next round. We'll see him in a little bit, but that is going to do it for Mopar Magic tonight. We'll see if at some point he could come back in our final couple of episodes. But 106.7, the Fox is here looking for another attempt at getting a Season 2 qualification. Just Get Her Done. Another one who's a pretty solid truck. We'll see if he can do it tonight. Getting ready to go on that starting line, and we're going green. Launching over that step up to get us started. Just Get Her Done gives a big bounce off of those rear tires. Could have got him into some trouble, but he keeps it solid, keeps it running. It is 106.7 the Fox in the lead right now, but what we've seen from 106.7 the Fox is that, you know, you can't really count on him to get past round 1 very often. So I am not thinking that tonight is going to be one of those nights. Just Get Her Done coming through the slalom and trying to make up some ground. Doesn't look like it's happening, though. 106.7 the Fox holding that lead on Just Get Her Done right now, and Just Get Her Done gets a sloppy landing on the downside of the double rollers. 106.7 the Fox just expanding that lead on Just Get Her Done tonight. Is it 106.7 the Fox's night? We still got half a race to go, and a lot can happen in half a race, so I don't know, but we're gonna be here, and we're gonna be glued to our seats watching to see if it happens tonight. Just Get Her Done. Not the cleanest landing in that transfer into the tunnel, but not terrible. He's trying to make up ground. It's just not happening. Launching into the gap. 106.7, the Fox in trouble. Just Get Her Done, managing to make up a little bit of ground there thanks to that mistake from the Fox. But the 106.7, the Fox still in the lead. Heading into this final turn, it's getting close now. This is where it all comes into play. Just Get Her Done, trying to make up the ground. A very slight lead. Heading over the finish line we go, and it's 106.7, the Fox, reclaiming the lead and grabbing, what, only their second round spot out of 10, roughly 10 attempts here? Wow. Very close race. Definitely not what I was expecting. From Just Get Her Done, we've seen Just Get Her Done put down some solid passes on this track, and just not gonna happen tonight. Rap Attack coming out next on your right, and he'll be taking on Titan as we go green for our third race of the first round. Over the step up we go. Both trucks using that guided attempt with the downside of that step up. Rap Attack getting into a little bit of trouble on the Jackrabbit. It's all Titan right now as we head into this first turn. Titans had some unfortunate losses on this track. We're looking to not do that this time around. Titan took one big hit on the cab for sure, trying to get a nice easy transfer into the tunnel. And sometimes you just overshoot it, and or at least sometimes some of these trucks have overshot it, and he is one of them. Rap Attack gaining some ground on Titan, but a rough landing in that double roller section kind of slows him down a little bit. Let's Titan reclaim a little bit more of that lead gap. Up, over, and onto the bridge here. Nicely done from both trucks. Rap Attack getting in trouble with the car. And clipping that center divide on the way down as well. He is struggling here, trying to close out the first floor. Nice save, keeping that chassis off the roof of the tunnel, but it's all Titan. Titan's in trouble, but he gets a save. Rap Attack had a shot to make up some ground, but he was fighting his own demons there. On the right, Titan gets into more trouble. Rap Attack, a nice clean landing on that elevated turn. It's not looking good for Titan right now, but it could still go either way, especially with a big slide from Rap Attack. Heading into our final turn of this race, who is going to come out on top? Rap Attack is looking good this time, I cannot lie. Over the triple we go. Rap Attack holding that lead and is going to continue to hold it over the finish line. Rap Attack on to round 2 tonight. I believe this is his third time here, and this is his first advancement into round 2 as well. Titan showing off some skills moves. Hopefully, I would love for him to come back very soon. Potentially, he could get a spot in Season 2. I would love it, but he's going to have to earn it like everybody else. Barefoot coming out next on your right, debuting for the first time on this channel, taking on Sly Cooper, one of our trucks who have been here quite a few times. We'll see if he can hold that truck together this time and make it into that final round. Launching off the starting line we go, though. Of course, Barefoot is a werewolf node beam truck, so we'll see. He's really the one we got to worry about keeping that truck in one piece. Sloppy landing for Barefoot, though. Sly Cooper, maybe not the cleanest landing, but holding a lead. And another rough landing for Barefoot off of that gap here on the first floor. Can Barefoot make up some ground in the slalom? He might be a little bit tweaked in that suspension already, just due to some awkward landings that he's had already in this race. Sly Cooper, of course, obviously still in that lead, but Barefoot does make up some ground. I wouldn't say he's in the sweet spot, but he is, doing better than he was. Up onto starting elevation. Barefoot not struggling too much, getting it done pretty well. Falling more behind, though, which is obviously not good for him. Sly Cooper just expanding that lead right now, getting a solid pass through the bridge. How are we going to do in the transfer? Nice, solid landing from Sly Cooper. Barefoot, not too bad. Oh, trying to keep it off the walls. He does, but got real close there. And he is all over the place in the dip here on the bottom floor. He's going to have to go long to low, which I think is going to put that final nail in the coffin. It looks like it's all Sly Cooper. But we did see Megalodon go for a roll in this final turn, which is not super common. So anything could happen, but it's not going to happen to Sly Cooper this time around. Sly Cooper is on to round 2. as we head over the triple and over the finish line. Barefoot still fighting to get that truck to do what he wants it to do. Over the triple we go, and to the finish line. Barefoot done here in round 1, unfortunately, but cookie crumbling, you know, that's how it works. Sly Cooper, we'll see him again in just a little bit. Tasmanian Devil coming out next on your right. Solid werewolf truck on this track, and he'll be taking on 31 Flavors back with that Cadillac body. We'll see if 31 Flavors can get it done tonight and, you know, get a Season 2 qualification. Getting ready to go, and we're going green here for another race in the first round. Over the step up we go. Tasmanian Devil guiding those back tires down that downside of the step up. Big sky wheelie from Tasmanian Devil. 31 Flavors grabs an early lead. Heading into this first turn. Solid turn from both trucks. Tasmanian Devil looking to make up some ground here in the slalom. This is where he's going to do it, if he's going to. Coming through, not bad at all from Tasmanian Devil. Does make up a lot of ground on 31 Flavors. Looking for a solid downside. Overshoots it, which could get him into trouble. No, keeps it controlled. I mean, relatively did get a butt kicker up onto starting elevation, but kept it on all fours mostly. Through the bridge section, it is all 31 Flavors at the moment, flying through that bridge section. Looking for a nice clean transfer into the tunnel. Beautifully done from both trucks. Even Tasmanian Devil gets a nice clean landing. Can Tasmanian Devil come back? I don't know, especially with the gap here. 31 Flavors is going for it. A little bit of a rough hit, but gets it controlled. Keeps it controlled, I should say. Tasmanian Devil. Nice slide around that elevated turn, but it's not gonna happen. 31 Flavors, the first one to the final turn. And I mean, out a little wide, especially, I mean, even compared to Tasmanian Devil, who was nice and clean around it, super tight. But 31 Flavors just too far ahead for it to matter. He is on to round 2 tonight, knocking out Tasmanian Devil here in round 1. Unfortunate break for that Taz truck, but, you know, we've seen her a lot. She might be able to come back. You just have to wait and see. The battle of the depths here. Kraken on your right, taking on Megalodon Neon. The Sea Beasts going head to head. And I'm curious to see who's going to come out on top. Both of these trucks have had their issues on this track, so it could go either way. We're launching off that starting line and getting started. Over we go with the step up. Both trucks using a rollover attempt, or a rollover approach. Solid downside from Kraken. Megalodon using a little more of a rollover approach on the Jackrabbit as well. And it is all Kraken right now with an early lead on Megalodon. I would say we got to see if Megalodon can make up some ground here in the slalom, but this Neon Megalodon doesn't seem to like the slalom very much. Has a rough time holding up and making up ground in the slalom, but a nice clean downside relatively for Megalodon. Same for Kraken though, clean downside. So I mean, Kraken just furthering that lead here on Megalodon Neon. Is unfortunate for that Neon truck. It doesn't look like he's gonna get very far, but as I mentioned, we got half a race to go, and that is a long time, especially in this race. Heading down to the bottom floor. Both trucks getting great landings in the tunnel. Megalodon Neon making up some ground. Nice. Who's going to take it over the gap in the bottom floor? Both trucks going for it, but it's Meg Neon taking a big hit on the nose. Kraken grabbing a lead here. Megalodon trying to make up ground once again, especially as we're heading into this final turn. Into it we go. Kraken nice and tight. Meg nice and tight as well, but I don't think Meg's gonna do it. It's all Kraken heading down the final straight and over the finish line. Kraken is on to round 2, knocking out Meg here in our first round. Man, no Megalodons tonight. Doesn't look like we're gonna get our second Megalodon into season 2, but we still got 2 more shows to go, 2 full episodes. So we'll see what happens. And our second of the 2 full episodes, we're gonna be having 3 3 brackets. So, I mean, we got a little while to go still. Aries and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ready to go, and we're going green. Launching off of that starting line and up and over the step up we go. This is going to be an interesting race for sure. We know that Aries truck is a good one. It's solid for sure. Turtles as well. We've seen Turtles on this channel before, though. I know from personal experience that the Corrupted Carnage and Aries truck is a solid truck. But for the channel specifically, Turtles has a record here. Being a solid truck, I believe even making it up into the finals once. We'll see if he can do that again tonight. Looks like Aries has the early lead on Turtles right now, though. Down that double roller we go for Aries. Nice and clean. Honestly, I miss Turtles. But down onto this ski hill we go. And it is all Aries right now. Turtles struggling to make up the ground in order to come back into the lead. But over the cars, he does do it. And gains just a little bit on Aries. This is looking like a close fight as we head down to the bottom floor. Turtles looking fast. Heading into the gap. Who's going to get a better landing on the elevated turn? Hard hit for Aries. Turtles gets a butt kicker, but it is Turtles who comes off cleaner. Aries really had to let that truck settle for a second. It is relatively close, but Turtles in the lead right now. I don't know if Aries is going to do it. Who's going to have a better final turn? Big slide on the exit for Aries. It's all Turtles right now. Headed to the finish line, and over we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles grabs the lead and the win here in this race. He'll be moving on to round 2, and we'll be seeing him again in just a minute. Unfortunately, Aries is done for tonight. Potentially, we'll be able to see him again soon and see if he can throw down. But Wrenchhead is coming out next, taking on Disney XD, and this is it's an interesting one for sure. Both of these trucks struggle with top-heavy issues, so we'll see what happens as we go green here in your final race of round 1. Over the step-up we go. Disney XD with an early lead right now. Can Wrenchhead come back? He seems to be struggling. As we head around this first turn, Disney XD goes for a spin. Wrenchhead grabs the lead, heading into the slalom. Man, Wrenchhead, I gotta be honest, I don't know if either one of these trucks have what it takes to get into Season 2, but this is gonna be an interesting race, to say the least. Up onto starting elevation, big wheelie from Disney XD. Wrenchhead just holding that lead right now. Disney XD really needs to go hard if he wants to get up into that sweet spot. And there's a big mistake from Wrenchhead. What a save! And he goes into the competitor's lane. Trying to get a save, does get it done, but I think this race is done for Wrenchhead. Disney XD heading up and over that final roller, looking for the finish line now. Ooh, a hard hit for Disney XD, but a harder hit for Wrenchhead. Yeah, Wrenchhead done. It doesn't even pay to turn her back on and let it keep going. It's oh man, straight into the wall. Disney XD coming around that final turn, got extremely lucky this time around, was almost on that chopping block, but heading into round 2 we go with Disney XD. What an interesting race to close out the first round. Let's take a look at this awesome stoppie from Disney XD. I didn't know they had the skills like that. Nice. Sets it down. They're gonna head back up to starting elevation and get prepped for round 2. Let's take a look at our round 2 bracket here. Sonic Heroes is gonna be taking on 106.7. The Fox Rap Attack will face off against Sly Cooper. 31 Flavors is gonna take on Kraken, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going to take on Disney XD to close out round 2. I don't know. The only ones I'm really struggling to find potential winners for our Rap Attack and 31 Flavors races. The two middle races look like they're going to be the closest in this round 2 bracket. Let's take a look and see what happens as Sonic Heroes takes on 106.7 the Fox. Kicking off round 2. Sonic Heroes using that classic Sonic Heroes approach to the step up there, tagging those front tires on the way down just to keep that truck safe. And on all 4 BKTs. Nice clean downside for both trucks. 106.7 the Fox behind right now, going for a spin to keep that truck on all 4s, and he does, but that hurts him here in this heading into the slalom. Sonic Heroes nice and clean around it. Big slide. 106.7 the Fox is in trouble though, and on the other side down he goes. 106.7 the Fox makes it up into round 2 finally once again, and then goes right down onto the lid here in the second round. Sonic Heroes just needs to get across that finish line. Can he do it, or will we have to rerun our first race of the qualifying window? Over that, looking for the transfer, beautifully done. Little squirrely through the bridge, but gets it under control. It's good to know your limits before heading into the semifinals. If you can make it there, you gotta have some testing done ahead of time, so you know what you can and can't do. Sonic Heroes, a big hit on the nose, stops a lot of momentum there into that elevated turn, but it's all good. He's all by himself. Practice lap on this Spin Master Showdown track. Heading around this final turn, nice and clean. Sonic Heroes, over the triple we go, and looking for the finish line. Big leap from Sonic Heroes. He is on to the semifinals, and last time we saw Sonic Heroes in the semifinals, and I'm not talking about the qualifying window, I'm talking about in the ROR SRPS series, he ended up going over against, I actually don't know who he was facing off against, but he rolled the truck in the semifinals. That is the point that I'm getting to here. Let's see if he can keep it on all 4s next round. But Rap Attack is taking on Sly Cooper, and we're going green. Over the step up we go. Sly Cooper using that rollover approach to guide those back tires down the step up, and he has an early lead on Rap Attack right now. But Rap Attack came from behind last round. Can he do it again here in round 2 and get up into the semifinals? Heading into the slalom, Sly Cooper just holding that lead, but Rap Attack has a smaller wheelbase. What we've seen historically on this qualifying window, the smaller wheelbase generally can make up some ground on the longer wheelbases in the slalom. But it's all Sly Cooper right now, especially when Rap Attack gets into trouble. They let him keep running. Little bounce off the wall never hurt, I guess. Heading up and over, or up onto starting elevation. Rap Attack trying desperately to make up the ground now. He's going to need to work real hard, and he's going to need a massive mistake from Sly Cooper if he wants to see the semifinals. Sly Cooper nice and solid through the tunnel there. Rap Attack all by himself, just now getting into the tunnel. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, especially with Sly Cooper already coming out of the elevated turn. Rap Attack in trouble, and down he goes. Oh my goodness. Easily one of the most unfortunate rolls that we've seen on this channel. Not that he would come back, but yeah, that was just avoidable, I guess you could say. Sly Cooper, over the triple he goes, and to the finish line. He is on to the semifinals. He'll be taking on Sonic Heroes next round, and that is going to be potentially a very interesting race. We're just going to have to tune in, stay locked in, and see what happens here in our first race of the semifinals. But into our third race of the second round here, Baskin-Robbins 31 Flavors on your right, taking on Kraken. This is, as I mentioned, this is another one that I'm having trouble calling ahead of time. So we're just gonna have to watch and see what happens here. Launching off of the starting line, Kraken versus 31 Flavors. Similar approaches there to that step up. Very interesting. It is 31 Flavors with an early lead. Both trucks not bad on that Jackrabbit. Coming up short for Kraken on that gap on the first floor. Just furthering that gap between him and 31 Flavors. Of course, 31 Flavors in the lead through the slalom. Can he hold it into the finish line? Kraken seems to want to make up the ground. I'm unsure if he is yet, but he seems to be trying here, which is good. You know, you want effort, right? Heading down the ski hill and up onto the bridge. Still 31 Flavors just holding that lead on Kraken right now, but Kraken giving it his all through the bridge, making up a lot of ground. How's the tunnel gonna treat these trucks? 31 Flavors coming up short for the transfer. Kraken, not too bad, but also short. It's Kraken who leads on the bottom floor, though. Kraken makes up a lot of ground in the transfer and in the tunnel. Kraken's going long to low, though. 31 Flavors gets in trouble, and it is just about neck and neck as we come out of this elevated turn. Who is going to take it? I would say Kraken has a very slight lead right now. Around this final turn, it is close. This is one of the closest races of the night. Kraken, very, very slight lead. 31 Flavors comes from behind, though, and on to the semifinals. 31 Flavors gets it done against Kraken. Had that lead for most of the race, lost it, and is able to come back, just sticking with it and giving it his all. That's all you got to do. Just make the effort. Give it your all every time, and you have a shot. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out next on your right, taking on Disney XD. Now, Disney XD has only been here once before, and it wasn't even this version of Disney XD. This version of Disney XD is a little top-heavy, so I don't know if it's going to work out here in the second round, especially against Turtles, who has a record on this track. Up and over the Jackrabbit. Turtles beautifully done. Disney XD not bad either, but gonna have to let off the gas there to let that slap wheelie down. Through that first turn, it is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the lead on Disney XD, and just expanding that as we head through the slalom. Disney XD, the same node that we saw 106.7 the Fox with, and hiking up, keeping it off the roof, which is good. But definitely having their own struggles there on your left. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just running his own race right now. Don't worry about your opponent. Just do you, and you have a shot. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles making the most of that strategy right now. Disney XD making up some ground on the bridge section, but does clip that center divide, which slows him down once again. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, nice solid transfer into the tunnel. Disney XD coming up short, which is an awkward entry when you come up short on the transfer into the tunnel. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, can he get a nice clean landing? Relatively, yes, that was nice. Solid landing, solid momentum through it as well. Disney XD doesn't look like it's gonna happen this time around, and with a big slide in that elevated turn, it's all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles headed to the finish line. Around that final turn we go, and over the triple and to the finish line. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is on to the semifinals tonight. Could this be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles night? We've seen them in the final round before. I believe twice. This version and another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle as well. So, I mean, not this version. It wasn't Mikey, but it was this node. So, it came in the pack. It's this version type of thing. Sonic Heroes is going to kick off the semifinals, taking on Sly Cooper, and 31 Flavors will take on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just got to say, I am honored because we might be seeing 31 Flavors. One of my very first original customs on the Sim Monsters website. We might be seeing him in the final round, which means we might be seeing him in Season 2, which would be awesome. But we just got to wait and see what happens here. Sonic Heroes taking on Sly Cooper to get us started for the semifinals. And this is going to be a race right here. I can tell you that much. We're both trucks staged and ready to go, and we're going green. Big leaps from both trucks. Sly Cooper, very slight lead. Both trucks getting nice downsides on the Jackrabbit, though. Sonic Hero seems to be making up a little bit of ground. Can Sly Cooper hold this lead that he has on Sonic Heroes right now for the entire race? That would be quite a feat, especially because these two trucks are very different. But I would say they're relatively evenly matched. I mean, they both have their own struggles on this track. They've both been here multiple times. They've both, had a similar amount of experience in terms of not just how many times they've been here, but the amount of rounds that they've gotten through as well. So we'll see how it works out here. Sly Cooper getting into trouble on the bridge. He hits that center divide. Sonic Heroes just sticking with it, able to make up the ground thanks to Sly Cooper's mistake. Sonic Heroes heading down to the bottom floor. Sly Cooper looking for a transfer, but gives it too much. He's wedged on the roof. We've only seen that happen once before. Sonic Heroes all by himself. He is on to the final round tonight. We just saw Sonic Heroes' teammate lose in the final round last episode. Can Sonic Heroes do it this time around? Coming around that final turn with a beautiful turn, a little slippery on that exit. Needs to tighten that up for the final round. But aside from that, it was a solid pass from Sonic Heroes, and into the finals he goes. That means he's either taking on 31 Flavors or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the Season 2 qualification tonight. Who will come out on top and who will be his next competitor is a more pressing question at the moment. 31 Flavors on your right, taking on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I mentioned it many times, has his record on this track. But 31 Flavors is a very solid truck. This could go either way, but we're going green to close out the semifinals. Up and over the Jackrabbit we go. Both trucks getting beautiful landings. It is neck and neck, a dead tie over the gap on the first floor. 31 Flavors seemed to be out wide there, but Turtles had a big slide on the exit. So it could have... No, it didn't cancel out. I was going to say it could have canceled out, but no. Turtles in the lead right now, but 31 Flavors is not letting that slide. Comes back for the double roller section. Nice clean downside from 31 Flavors. Turtles falling behind. Can Turtles make his way back up is the question. Absolutely launching onto the bridge for 31 Flavors. Turtles, I would say, a little smoother just because he didn't have anything really stopping his momentum like 31 Flavors did when the chassis hit the cars. But into the tunnel, it's still 31 Flavors with the lead. Turtles is sloppy. But 31 Flavors is in trouble, going for a ride. Unable to get the save. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is heading into the final round if he can get across that finish line. I believe this is final round attempt number 3 for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Definitely final round attempt number 2. 100% final round attempt number 2. But it could be number 3. And as we head up and over this finish line, I want you to let me know in the comments who you think is going to win, and then go back to your comment afterwards and let me know if you were right and your thoughts on the winner heading into the next next week with our final 2 shows ahead of us. Because this is definitely an interesting race here for the final round. Sonic Heroes taking on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, Sonic Heroes, as I mentioned, his teammate Splattershot just took a big loss last round, or last show, yesterday. And we got a couple people pointing it out, and they didn't like the outcome of that race. But that is the official outcome, and that is locked in. So, I'm curious if this is going to be a vengeance thing here, and if Sonic Heroes is going to do it, or if it's going to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with that history coming into play here. Up and over that step up we go for your final round of racing tonight. Turtles with an early lead. But Sonic Heroes comes back as we head over the step up, or over the gap here on the first floor. around that first turn. It is a close race right now. Not too much has happened though. We've had a lot of straightaway. We're just now getting into the point where there's a lot of turns, and this is where strategy starts to come in. Sonic Heroes, the first one to the double rollers. Early lead for Sonic Heroes. Turtles trying to make this track work for him once again. Can he do it? Sonic leading up onto the bridge. Turtles gets caught on the car. He needs to get off of that. He does. If he's able to come back, it's through sheer willpower and effort. 100% giving it all to this race. And we'll see if it happens here, as he's not getting too bad of a transfer into the tunnel, but he's struggling. Turtles may be out. He is having a rough pass this time around. Sonic Heroes coming around that elevated turn. Turtles getting kicked all over the place. It looks like it's all Sonic Heroes right now. Into the final turn we go with Sonic Heroes all by himself. Around it and out of it, Sonic Heroes is going on to Season 2. Turtles unable to come back after getting hung up on a car. And that is gonna do it. Wow. Every second counts, every decision counts, and he just went a little too hard trying to get up onto the bridge. And when he landed, he got hung up on that car. Sonic Heroes does it and moves on to RORSRPS Season 2. If you want to vote for what tour Sonic Heroes gets placed on, we got the Biggest and Baddest Tour or the All-Star Challenge Tour featuring Team Thunder versus Team Mayhem all season long. Head over to the RORSRPS Instagram and place your votes tomorrow, Saturday, February 17th. This is going to be an incredible second season. You guys have no idea how hyped I am for Season 2, and this is just another drop in the bucket for incredible freestyles, incredible racing, an incredible season ahead of us. Big thank you to everybody who voted last week. Thank you to everybody for tuning in this week. Subscribe if you enjoyed tonight's episode and you want to see more, because we got Season 2 coming very soon. Check out that Instagram. Check out Dubby for 10% off with the RORSRPS coupon code. Again, it's been a great week. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next week for our final 2 episodes of the Spin Master Showdown Qualifier.